Welcome back to NewOrleans.Football, presented by PJ's Coffee, coming to you from our studio up here on Vets, next door to Matt Bauer's state-of-the-art Ford dealership. Make sure you check out Matt at one of his many locations. This is the home of the Oshner Andrews Institute podcast studio. Got a great show for you guys today. Going to keep talking about Tyler Shough and where things go forward for him, which brings us into our first topic, which is presented by Keesler Federal. They are proud to be the official credit union sponsor of the New Orleans Saints. They are a not-for-profit organization, meaning their members always come first. You can enjoy lower fees, better rates, and everything else Saints fans need to help you get one step closer to living your dreams. See if the Saints can get one step closer to living their dreams on the field. Tyler Shough finally starting to get a little bit of hype. People are finally noticing that he can make some plays, that his highs are exceptionally high. I don't know. What do you like? It's about time that people kind of notice, right? But like, where do you think it goes?
Maybe,
from here?
yeah. It's funny. I almost thought this last game was, I don't want to say a step back or whatever. I was surprised to see the discourse this week was sort of like what we maybe expected after the win in Carolina a few weeks ago. My suspicion is after that game was whatever it was, 16-0, and then it turned into a game. People started switching their TVs over, their 4-box over to the Saints game and saw how good he looked during the comeback and saw him make that great touchdown throw and saw him get down there and almost make the touchdown throw to Chris Olave. And it's like, oh, this is exciting. This rookie quarterback's got the Saints making this great comeback. So exactly as you said, the highs. My favorite person that was raving about him was Ben DiNucci, former Saints quarterback Ben DiNucci, who was released on April 29th after they drafted Tyler Shough. So no hard feelings there. But yeah, I mean, the truth lies somewhere in between. I don't think we know that they have the best rookie quarterback in this year's class over Cam Ward and Jackson Dart yet. I don't know that we know they need to draft a better quarterback next year. I think the truth lies somewhere in the middle, and I just want more and more and more and more games of evidence to find out.
Yeah, I'm not reaching a conclusion. I think we feel probably a little bit differently about the performance. I thought he was like exceptional, and I mean, like the first half was bad, but he's still like, if Chris catches that ball, it's 70%, 275, 3 touchdowns, really, really good. When you get the context of the 2-point conversion, and you kind of realize that it's not, he's kind of throwing the ball to a spot, the route isn't there. I think once you can contextualize that and set it aside, it looks a lot different to me. His ability in the pocket and to get out of it when he's processing and all that stuff, I think is exceptional. I think when you see his tool, like I think his skill set, and this is kind of, when we were talking about him, you go back to our shows in February, we were talking about him, and this was before I hadn't heard a word about their interest in him until probably after free agency, after the Derek Carr thing. And we were talking about like, man, this guy, I just go through the cut-ups, and I watch the good plays, I watch the bad plays, and I was sending everyone the good plays, and like, they look like this. And like, then everybody else starts talking about him, and they're like, he's terrible. And it's like, I never understood that discourse, because I think his skill set is the kind of skill set that you want to bet on. Like, I think it's an easy bet. Like, he's big, he's strong, he moves great in the pocket, he has a great feel for extending plays. He's a arrogant thrower, like an arrogant thrower. That throw to Chris is like, there's
which
arrogance.
I think captivates some people. Like, I think that's part of the reason for the discourse. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, like, you want a guy like the Carolina throw in the tight window up the seams where he ripped it between the two defenders. Like, his arm confidence is special. Like, his arm strength is special. Like, everything he does. When we were talking about him in camp, hey, he raises the ceiling. He puts air into the balloon. It's all this stuff. Now, there's still 50 ways that I see this where we've seen 150 passes roundabout somewhere about there. I mean, that's not enough. Like, no. But I think his skill set absolutely gives him a chance. I think this game in the second half, like, the evidence is there to where you're like, yeah, this is exciting. Like, there could potentially really be something here. And I like that he fought back and managed to put together a good game after a bad start. The overall picture definitely need way more evidence, definitely need way more. But I've watched a bunch of Jackson Dart. Like, I think he's more exciting than Jackson Dart today. Does it, the major question here, and everybody gets mad at me when I talk about the age, but I think it is the question that's going to define his future, really. Does 3 years experience affect him and allow for the same growth as a guy that's 8 days older than Trevor Lawrence, 26 years old, as it would for Jackson Dart, who I believe is 21. Like
Yeah.
in 3 years, all those snaps, does Jackson Dart get more growth out of it, or does Shough, or is it the same? If it's the same, they have a real good shot here. But we got to see way more. They play Todd Bowles this week. They play the Bucks. I think him under pressure has been 39%. That's a number that's got to go way up. There's a lot of stuff that has to get better before I'm saying I'm not drafting a QB. I'm not looking. But I think he's putting together a resume that right now, today, if the draft is today, season ends today, you got to make a bet. I probably, depends who's there, but I would have no problem rolling forward with him today if the evaluation stops today.
If you're not allowed to make any other.
I'd be totally comfortable with trying to see what he has in another year. And I think that's the best shot that they've taken so far to this point.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's undeniable. I mean, unless the one argument you could possibly make is Jameis. Like, I thought that was a smart shot that they took on Jameis at the time they took and got him in the building for a cheap price. And, obviously that didn't ultimately work out, but that's the only other name in the conversation, I think, of shots. I guess Teddy, when they traded for Teddy, but even then, I agree. Jackson Dart's 22, by the way. He just projects young. He acts young. Yeah. He's cool. No, my thought on Tyler Shough is, and as it relates to next year's draft is, absolutely. Like, I want to sign up for a full year, a full off season, a full evaluation of what works, what didn't, a full designing the playbook around him. I mean, I wanted to see that with Spencer Rattler this year. I definitely want to see that with Shough next year. I would not talk myself into a maybe and just bring another maybe in here. I wouldn't bring in this year's version of Jackson Dart to compete with Tyler Shough. The only thing is what happens if you get pick 1 or 2 in the draft and you're number 1 guy on the board and you say this is the highest we've graded a quarterback in 3 years, then do you have to take that guy? I don't know for sure that guy will exist in the Saints building. That's the only thing I would replace Tyler Shough with, though, is hey, we have the number 2 pick and we have the highest grade on this quarterback than we've had on a prospect since Drake May and Caleb Williams or something like that. Then it becomes a conversation. But other than that, I'm absolutely enticed by what I'm seeing with Shough. To answer your question about his age, it's never bothered me that much from a career longevity standpoint. And I do think, of course, if he gets 20 NFL starts under his belt, I think he will be better in his 21st NFL start than he is now. Like, I think that is inevitable for anyone who gets a chance to get experience. So I think there is room for growth. The only reason I think it's a concern is, have we seen him closer to his upside because he had 6 years of college and more years of development and more years of growth? Did he look better at Louisville because he was 5 years older than all the people he was playing against? Does he look better now as a rookie because he's got 6 years of growth and development under his belt already? But I don't think he's hit his ceiling by any.
We're saying the exact same thing, though. We're saying the exact same thing. Like, exactly. If you gave me 8, like, let's say Lamar Jackson, if he stopped today, he gets that injury, whatever, he's no longer elite. You got 8 elite seasons out of him. That's a successful draft pick to me. I have absolutely no problem with that pick. The longevity thing, don't care at all. 8 years from now, he's 34. Guys play till they're 44. Like, you might get 18 years out of him. Like, that doesn't bother me at all. The development thing doesn't bother me at all. It's just I think it's the question, and there's no comp. There's Chris Winkie. Like, there is no comp for it. There is no, like, how far higher does the ceiling go? I think that's the thing that defines his career. I think that's the thing that, if he hits, gets you from bottom 15 to top 15. Like, those are the things that we're just going to have to see over time. I absolutely think he'll be better in game 21 than he is in game 20. A year from now, I think he'll be better than he is now. Experience is going to help. But it's just how much growth, how much room is there? Like, someone might hit a growth spurt between 17 and 18, but you're probably betting on the 15-year-old to grow more between 15 and 19 than the 18 to 19-year-old. But it's not always true. Like, we don't know. I have no idea. But if you're telling me, the differences between that and getting to Matthew Stafford, I think there has to be elasticity in that growth process to see what it is. But we do not know. And it's going to be interesting to see. I think that's where, when we try to define his ceiling and you make the projection, I don't think it's just necessarily, academically speaking, doesn't mean it's the truth, but the hypothesis,
sure,
I think is sound to be, hey, the younger person can probably get better than the older person, but maybe NFL experience is just NFL experience, and maybe he's in a better position to absorb it. Maybe he's more mature, so he'll study more than somebody else who isn't married, is out living a different life. Like maybe he has more room for growth. I don't know the answer, because he is kind of like the first like really kind of exciting prospect that has entered the league at his age.
Did
like,
you list both the guys? Did you list both? Brandon Weeden was
Brandon Weeden,
and Chris Weinke. But you know what's funny is he is going to become part of a wave of the NFL is going to learn this. We're going to stop talking about Brandon Weeden and Chris Weinke, because I understand that Tyler Shough is even older, but Bo Nix and Michael Penix were both drafted at age 24 last year. I think things like that are going to start being the norm.
24, 26 is definitely
it is. But I mean, like, same thing, like where, okay, they were in college for 6 or 7 years and they're now 24, 25 entering the league. Have they already hit their ceiling? It's going to become a new thing that people are going to have to scout at a position that they're already terrible at scouting.
Yeah, no, it's a different conversation, no doubt about it. I think the COVID year probably made guys a little bit older, and I think that probably goes back a little bit.
That's true.
Diego Pavia isn't gonna I don't think a lot of guys that are. I mean, there's gonna be some, but it's changed. But yeah, a lot of them are probably still gonna come out around 22. But yeah, I mean, it's a different world. 26 is different though, but we'll see. We'll see what it means. We have no idea what it means. I'm excited about this guy right now. I'm truly thankful he's on the team, because boy, this would be bleak if he wasn't.
I've had a couple different, like just people, like, at a Christmas party or a radio interview I did the other day. It's like, so tell me, what is there to watch over the last 6 weeks of the season? And Tyler Shough is the answer to that question, and it's not even disingenuous. Like, I'm more interested in watching Tyler Shough over the next 5 games than I've been in watching anything Saints related in 2 years. But there is no number 2 answer to that question. He's the only answer to that question.
Vele kind of,
sure,
I'm in on that too.
He's a Tyler Shough comp.
He is.
He's the only comp to Tyler Shough.
I want to see how that works. I mean, Drew Brees comped this guy to Josh Allen, and it didn't feel insane. Like in moments, not overall, but like there is some Josh Allen this dude's game. Like there's some real impressive stuff that he's able to do.
Let me ask you about the biggest question mark that has popped up in what we've seen here, and how that compares to what you saw in college. Is not that he performs poorly when pressure comes, but I think he rushes when pressure comes. I think. I mean, it's so funny how different he operates than Spencer Rattler, who stays in the pocket for a long time and takes a hit. And sometimes you wish he would escape the pocket more, because Shough does such good work when he escapes the pocket. But then, like, my least favorite play, even though he had 3 turnovers in his last game, my least favorite play was just getting rid of that ball on 3rd and 1. I wish he would have created something more. Do you see that as a concern? Do you see that as oh no, give him 10 more games and I think he's going to get way better at that?
It's interesting. Yeah, I mean, that was the biggest issue in college. I mean, like the highs were kind of very similar to this. Like if you did an honest evaluation and took away your preconceived notions and the groupthink and the piling on and the, Twitter, I'm afraid to think for myself of it, and you just watched it and you watch, here are his 10 best plays, here are Cam Ward's 10 best plays, here are Jackson Dart's 10 best plays. I don't know that you would have stacked them in the order that they got drafted.
Sure.
Like I think you probably, but then you add in the bad. Like some of his bad stuff under pressure was really bad. Like for obviously. I think that's the thing that's going to probably decide again, like where you tier at, where he ends up at. I will say that I think, I don't know if it was the first start or the first game. There were the first time he went in, there were a couple like super sped up, like, ooh man, like this is rough. He had the one where kind of threw it away. Like he had the dangerous dirt to Devin Neal on that one. But I think like how he handled it in the first game to this last game, I think he looks slowed down a little bit. I think his biggest thing though is that like, yeah, he puts himself, he escapes into pressure. Like, and I think that's something that probably, hey, look, you gotta keep it in here. And I don't know how you handle that. Like, cause I think some of what he does and like the getting out and the flowing and all that, like, I think you probably want too much of that. Maybe I think you want somebody that's incredibly confident outside and wants to be out there, and you're trying to find a way to kind of refine that, as opposed to like, get more, try to make the medium-sized shirt stretch out the large. Like you're probably better off like, oh, I can shrink this in the dryer. Let me do that. I think that's probably the way that you want to do it. So yeah, I do think it has gotten better though. It has, but I think that could be the thing Look, I think it's 150 snaps. So I just don't want to make I don't want to make a conclusion.
But when we're talking about how much room does he have to grow, I think that is something that probably can come with 10 and 20 NFL starts and an area where and once that improves, then I think we're really excited about him.
Yeah. And it's interesting when you talk about these young guys, I think it starts out talking about what they can do, what the positives are, what the pluses are. And not at a certain point when you're talking about quarterbacks, when they get deeper into their career, you're trying to figure out what they are. They kind of start getting defined by the bad stuff. I don't know that I think we're still over here. These are the things he does well. You look at it, he has a shot. He has a real shot. He has a real chance. Like the skill set, I think we've seen enough to say, hey, there's actual real potential here. Let's see how it goes over the next 5, though. I'm excited to see what it does, though. And again, Todd Bowles coming up, tough defensive scheme, tough game. They might get buried early. He might have to start pushing it. It might start looking really bad, or it might not. Like that's what we're going to find out.
My suggestion is don't write a 15-play script. Start in 2 minutes and tell them they're down by 14.
Like just call it. Like just go out there and whatever you're doing.
That's when he looked best in training camp too. Like
whatever you're doing, just do the opposite. It's unbelievable to me that they cannot figure this out at all. It makes no sense to me. Truly baffling. All right. Continuing this conversation presented by Bobby Hebert's Cajun Cannon Restaurant up here on Vets as well. If Shough is the guy, if season ends, evaluation's over, you're not drafting a QB, like what's the first thing you're doing to make life better, more palatable for him?
Draft a left tackle and another left tackle each of the last 2 years in the first round. Hope those guys pan out. That would be a huge head start. I think he needs one more offensive lineman. I would take a guard as early as 33rd or 34th or wherever they're picking in next year's draft. I think he needs one more high-end receiver. That would be awesome if you added like some sort of Malik Neighbors level talent to Chris Olave and Devon Vele and you're off and running. Yeah. But I don't think if they draft Arvell Reese in the first round and they get a better defense, I don't think that hurts him too. Just have a better team. Let me see this guy playing in games where he's not down 14-0 in the first half every game. If you surround him with a great defense, that helps him too. So I understand the concept of build around Tyler Shough, and he does need better offensive line help. He does need a better run game, and he does need at least one more elite pass catcher. But just make the team better.
Yeah. I think they got to find a way to get a run game. Like, so bad.
I should have started with that.
So bad.
It's so bad right now.
Yeah, like you take so much pressure off him if you could actually run the ball. You could actually build off it a little bit. The one game where they ran the ball well against Carolina, like they looked great. Like they were able to do a bunch of stuff. And however,
Spencer Rattler's best game was when they ran the ball well at Buffalo too. It helps everybody.
Yeah. And early in the season when they were most competitive, 110 and 131, like. You have to find a way to get some stuff going there to take pressure off your quarterback. It's abysmal.
Really is.
Whatever it is to do. They did not break a tackle in the run game against the Falcons, which is like almost. That's almost
was the camera on Nick's face when he read that? That was beautiful. For any podcast listeners, check out the YouTube video.
That's almost unbelievable, man. Like you didn't break a tackle in the run game against the Falcons. That's crazy. But they did fumble. They had more fumbles than broken tackles. That's wild. Like that's absolutely wild to see.
It's such a disappointment. It's we did a show the other day where we listed our biggest disappointment. That was my number one. Like, please protect your quarterback by giving him a run game and a play-action passing game, and I don't know, 2nd and 5 instead of 2nd and 10 for crying out loud.
Yeah, it'd be such a huge help. They got to figure that out. Definitely the first place I go. I'm with you. Wide receiver, you could do anything. Yeah, defense being better helps the offense too. But I would like to see them give him if he's going to be. If you're going into the next season, hey, this is a guy we think he can actually be the guy. Not looking at a quarterback. We're set here. Like we're going to go forward with him. I would like to see him supported and prioritize that support, but you also have to take the best player. So like it can be, it might not line up like that, but they definitely need to. I think if you're prioritizing sides of the ball, you gotta make life better for him one way or another.
To be fair to this question, though, I turned it into in everything, which is the answer to all of our non-nuanced Saints questions. They need everything. But let's say everyone has the exact same grade. What and you only get to add one guy in the top 34. Are you adding a receiver or a guard if they both have elite grades?
Oh, give me the receiver. Yeah, give me the receiver. Yeah, definitely. I mean, because you can go get a You can get a guard. You can get a guard. They're out there. You can be fine there. Like you can be all right. Like if you got a couple Dylan Radenses, like I'm okay going through a year with that, and it might not help your run game, might not help you excel, but a top 34 wide receiver when that contract comes up, it's
Oh, I get that. I get that.
So
I get that.
Like the positional value, I'm absolutely taking that. The margin for error, absolutely. I'm going that direction before guard, because I feel like I can address guard. I could draft a 4th round guard. Hopefully it's not Nick Saldiveri, but like maybe it does work out a little bit better later on.
I actually like receivers in every, a receiver that you draft at 3rd overall, a receiver that you draft at 33rd overall, and a receiver you draft on day 3 is probably always going to be better than the guard in that same slot. Like, I might take the guard who could be an all-pro and the 4th round receiver, honestly. Like, I actually think that might help him the most, but obviously, the receiver's going to get $30 million one day. The guard isn't.
All right, we're going to hit a quick break and we'll be right back. Whether you're an athlete or just trying to stay active, Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute can help get you moving and keep you moving. You'll have access to the highest levels of specialized care, nationally renowned expertise, the latest equipment, and modern facilities, including a convenient walk-in orthopedic clinic when you need care fast. From the field to recovery, Ochsner Andrews Institute is there to help move your healing forward and get you back to what you love. Learn more at ochsner.org/ortho.
Rouse's Markets is voted best grocery store in New Orleans, best grocery store in Baton Rouge, Mississippi, Gulf Coast, Thibodaux, Houma, Hammond, Lake Charles, Mobile, year after year. Thank you for choosing us best grocery store on the Gulf Coast. Number 1. Thank you.
Thank you.
The number 1 grocery store
in Mississippi, Alabama,
Louisiana. 1 million customers a week can't be wrong. Welcome to Rouse's.
I used a home equity loan from Keystone Federal to fix up the garage. Woo! Because living your dream means living your way. And the kids take the field.
It's not even game day.
The NewOrleans.Football show is proudly presented by PJ's Coffee. PJ's Coffee has some of the best drinks that you can find. They have locations all over the city. They have pastries and everything else you need to get your day started. So go check them out. I don't play favorites with our sponsors on the show, but one of my favorites for sure is RV Masters. You guys have been watching our show lately and you've seen our awesome new van. That thing is decked out. And the best part about it is I took it up to RV Masters and I was like, this is what I want to do, but I had no idea how I wanted to do it or how to get it done. And they took care of it from start to finish, brought me out for updates, were giving me new ideas, and they made it exceed my wildest dreams. And they will do the same thing for you. RV Masters offers full service RV, motorhome, and travel trailer repair. They have preventative maintenance and service packages for your RVs, your AC, your generators. They specialize in solar and lithium upgrades, satellite TV, and Starlink. They'll take care of you if you get into a collision. Whatever you need, they got you. And I can speak from experience because they definitely had us on our new van. I cannot vouch for anyone more than I vouch for RV Masters. RV-Masters.com. Go check them out.
I believe it. I can see it. If it's in my sights, I achieve it. Ain't no leaving, no defeating. Show up, complete, and repeat it. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready?
Get game ready. Play Game Ready Scratch-Offs and Fast Play from the lottery. Win up to $100,000. Enter the second chance drawing for a chance to win up to $1 million.
Yeah, they want me to quit, I can't stop it. I'm out of this world, I'm like a rocket. And you can never be us. We not afraid of the pressure, cause we good in the clutch. Yeah.
Get game ready. Play Game Ready Scratch-Offs and Fast Play from the lottery. Win up to $100,000. Enter the second chance drawing for a chance to win up to $1 million.
Shaw Insurance, the Earhart Agency, is a longtime partner on this podcast, but the truth is, I was advertising them to my friends and everybody I knew long before they ever jumped on this show. And I'm going to tell you why. Every 6 months, my car insurance policy comes up, and every 6 months, I get a call from somebody from there telling me I need to change it or stay where I'm at. They're shopping my policy constantly to make sure I am getting the best possible deal. That means money in the bank. And those are the type of people you love because, look, we all live here. We all know how it is. The insurance rates are out of control. You need somebody watching your back. And they actually really do it. And I was with them before they ever asked me to be with them. So they are people that you need to be doing business with. And if you are going to look up their insurance, make sure you are looking for the Earhart Agency. Those are our guys. There's a lot of Shaugh insurances. The Earhart Agency is the one you want. I can speak for them. Real life, real support, real good business, real money saved. Call them up today. Shaugh Insurance, the Earhart Agency. Hardhide flavored whiskey, Ponchatoula strawberry, and Chilton County peaches in your favorite bars, stores, and restaurants. Hardhide Chilton County Peach Whiskey is a blend of aged wheat whiskey, light American whiskey, and fresh Chilton County peaches from Alabama's Durbin Family Farms. And Hardhide Strawberry Whiskey tells the story of a small town famous for strawberry farming. A delicious natural strawberry-infused 86-proof whiskey for whiskey lovers. Just look for the red and orange bottles in your favorite stores, bars, and restaurants. Welcome back to NewOrleans.Football. Our next topic is presented by the Louisiana Lottery. We kind of hit on my answer on this already. One thing Kellen Moore could do to change your perception and instill confidence over the last 5 games. For me, it's coming out. It's scoring points in the first quarter.
Yeah.
I mean, that would change my whole entire perception of this whole entire operation. Like every single time I start looking at like stats and numbers, and I'm just like, man, imagine if they played a first quarter. You know, you could add the stuff to it. Like, what would the points look like? What would this guy's yards per carry look like? All this stuff. Like, if you could add it into that and you could start some games and you show some level of ability, it's not even just that it's not working. Him being able to solve his biggest problem on his side of the ball would make me feel better about
you just hit it
about him overall. So any problem that's lingered for this long, if he just, hey, I can fix this and I figured it out and it took me a while, but damn it, like got there. All right, cool. Like he figured that out. He'll be able to figure out the next problem. For me, it's more about that than specifically what it is, but specific to what it is. It makes life so much harder for everybody that they can't move the ball. And you're talking about 2 different quarterbacks now at this point. So, you know, the 3rd and long thing, I always felt the subtext of that was like, we aren't getting the throws on 3rd and long. That's kind of went away. This one is like, it's spanning 2 different types of player now, and it's still there. So yeah, I feel like it's more on the design side than the execution side.
Yeah, absolutely what you said. If you want to change the perception of Kellen Moore and instill confidence in him, he needs to prove he can see a problem and fix it.
Yeah.
And that is number one. Number one is beginning of games. But I'd say there's 3 things that stand out as consistent problems that have been all season long. And the disturbing trend is they're all things in his control. They are the first 15 play script, the beginning of games, establishing a run game, having a run game plan, and the short yardage red zone stuff that's been all year long too. Guess what? You need a 2-point conversion. Guess what? It's 3rd and 1. Guess what? It's 4th and 1. Guess what? It's 1st and goal from the 1. It's 1st and goal from the 1 again. And he hasn't had an answer in those situations, and those are predictable situations that he could have spent the whole week scanning up. All their best stuff on offense has sort of been coming back in games, going to no huddle, going to tempo, going to 2-minute. You know, the scramble drill has worked well. I want to see the pre-planned stuff be better, and that includes the beginning of games, that includes the short yardage package, and that includes the run game.
Yeah, you know what was actually a little bit better, though, this week in those red zone 2-point conversion. Obviously, they had the one that turned into a pick, but it was sticking with the quarterback and not going to Taysom Hill. Like, they were more effective there. They converted a 2-point conversion. They moved the ball better in the red zone without him. It was a better answer, like not having him in there. So stick with that. Taysom, great. He can run. So can Tyler. Like Tyler can take the ball and hit
Tyler
that corner,
ran for a TD.
and you have a more effective thrower. Like, stick with that skill set. Keep doing that. He did say he wants to get Taysom in there more. Hopefully he doesn't in those high leverage situations. And our next one, presented by Shaugh Insurance. As it stands today, we were talking about this at practice yesterday. We're putting linebacker at 1. So linebacker, best position group on the team. Linebacker, I think, is the most talented group on the team right now. So them aside, what is the best position group on the team today with the players available? in practice today, who are the guys that you feel like are the best?
All right,
the best group on the team.
This is welcome inside Nick and Mike watching practice after we do attendance and roll call. This is a conversation we had for about 10 minutes yesterday. But one important qualifier: does it matter how they rank league wide, or are we just like
no?
What if they have the 30th best receiver group in the league and the 15th best defensive tackle group in the league? Is that what we're saying, or is it just like who's better, their receivers or their defensive tackles on their own team?
Stacking the Saints position groups against themselves.
You go first because I know your answer, and then I'll give the counter argument.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think as you go down the list, linebackers number one.
Yeah.
I think as it stands right now, the guys that I would take, and look, it's bad. Like the whole team is bad. The whole team is bad. Like I'm not vouching for any of them. So we're kind of ranking piles of dirt here. For me, right now, probably recency bias. 2 is either wide receiver or tight end.
Okay.
It's one of those 2. And I think that's where you're actually getting production. You have a top 15 wide receiver in Olave in yardage wise, and he's top 20 in touchdowns. Juwan Johnson's going to end up being a top 10 tight end.
The only Saints player to appear on the current Pro Bowl voting ballot in the top 10 at any position is Juwan Johnson.
Devon Vele's coming off a legitimate good game. He had a good game the week before that. Like, to me, that's in Tipton's having some good returns. Like, you get some value out of that group. I think they're giving you a little bit of value. Granted, the high leverage catch you don't get, and that's a major negative on them. But I think every group has major negatives. The biggest problem that I think Juwan Johnson and Chris Olave have is that if you look at their opportunities lost throughout the season, I think their opportunities lost relative to their positions in top performers, same number of drops, like same number of these moments happen and people miss them. Like George Pickens missed a play yesterday. The difference is that most weeks, yesterday isn't a good example, but most weeks, Dallas is going to make another play, and you're going to be able to forget about the
CeeDee Lamb had a game like that earlier this year.
CeeDee Lamb has 8 drops this year. Yeah. Like, you're going to get another opportunity to make plays. Like, we watched Patriots players blow moments, and then they came back and made it. They had another moment. And then who was the guy that dropped that ball? Like,
you're saying when you average like 17 points a game, that's not great for.
I'm saying when every moment is white knuckled, like every mistake stands out. Like every running back fumbles, and you could have less fumbles than everybody else, but like Alvin's fumbles are going to stand out in a moment. Like, people look, Chris has to make those high leverage plays. So like, that isn't the point I'm making. I'm just saying that, like, I think for anyone on this team, when a moment isn't met, we remember those moments because they end up defining the season because they aren't creating enough moments. I think that even plays back into the slow starts and all that. Like, I think it drives the ceiling down on everybody on the team overall performance wise when you are basically surrendering a quarter and you aren't scoring any points in the first. So if you miss a play in the third, that's all anybody remembers. And it's a tough way to live. They have to be better on offense.
One of my all-time favorite movies is Tin Cup. When a defining moment comes, you either define the moment or the moment defines you.
Yep.
And then Cheech says, well, the definition was, I don't know if I can say it on the podcast. So, reminds me of the Saints season. Look, my first instinct when you said receiver in practice was like, no way. I'm like, because Chris Olave is probably maybe people would rank him about 15th among number 1 receivers, and then, your number 2 receiver doesn't rank anywhere near anybody else's number 2 receiver. It'd be nice if Vele can get there, and then your depth is all a question mark. But that was me comparing it to the rest of the league and thinking, oh, gee, their receiving core. But then I couldn't come up with a better answer. And I do, like, if we're doing our rank the Saints roster, Chris Olave is probably going to be my number 1 player on the team. No other position has a candidate for the number 1 best player on the team. So you're not off base. I would maybe say defensive end, even though I don't like where that ranks against the rest of the league. I think Chase Young is a real player. And he's going to be in our top 3 or 4 when we rank the Saints roster. And then I think Carl Granderson is a decent number 2, and Cam Jordan is turning back the clock to be a decent number 3 this year. At least it's 3 productive players at one position. We can't say that at a lot of other position groups. But I'm certainly not about to stand on this table and argue for the pass rush on this team.
No, I mean, it's those group. The pass, it's the linebackers, the pass catchers, and then the pass rushers. And however anybody wanted to tear them, I'd be fine with it. I would probably put Chase Young as my best player on the team right now. Probably if we were doing it today, season stops today. Obviously, 5 more weeks. He's got to finish how he's played, but I mean, he's already up to 5 sacks. I think what kills them is that I don't think Carl Granderson's had a sack since September.
Yeah,
like that's a very long time. Cam's playing well though, so it probably is like if you asked me this question at a different time, I'd probably go to them. I'd probably go to them right now, but boy, feels disappointing.
Yeah. One thing Cam Jordan pointed out about Carl Granderson, and I haven't done my own film review to determine if he was just being nice or if I agree with him, is he made a point to talk about, he said nobody's talking about how good Carl Granderson's doing dropping in coverage, which is something Brandon Staley asked him to do, and he said he's the best dropper out of all of us. So, maybe that's like, when you say a receiver doesn't have numbers, but he's blocking well, it kind of feels like one of those kind of compliments. So maybe that's possible with him, but yeah, the production's been disappointing there. And I wish we were saying corner. I wish we were saying Kool-Aid McKinstry and Alontae Taylor and Quincy Riley. It's the best, probably young, promising, developing position. But I wish we felt a little better about that group than we do right now. But they're in the conversation, at least, I guess.
Yeah, it's a tough conversation, man. We probably shouldn't have put this in public, to be honest. it's a hard one to put together. And it feels like you're vouching for something. But again, like it feels like everything's underperforming. And it's just like really the genesis of the conversation is we were out there looking at it and we were like, wow, like this is the team.
It's depleted.
Yeah, it's depleted. It's depleted, man. Depleted. Like it's crazy.
And you hope offensive tackle is an easy answer to this question soon. It isn't yet, though.
Yeah, and we were talking the O-line as a whole, like a complete whole, not just like separating the O-line out of it. If we were doing that, they'd be in there too. All right, and our next one is presented by Aaron Rose. Right now, as of today, the Saints are slated to pick 3rd in the NFL draft. Titans are 1st. Giants are 2nd at 2-11. What a costly win that was. Saints are 3rd. The Vegas is 4th. Cleveland 5th. Washington 6th. We assume they'll probably get their quarterback back and win some games. Jets 7th. And Arizona's also there too, but they beat the Saints. So the Saints remaining.
That doesn't matter.
The Saints remaining games here. They got the Bucks, the Panthers, the Jets, Titans, and Falcons. The Jets have the Dolphins, the Jags, the Saints, the Patriots, the Bills. Not too many easy wins there, except for the Saints. Gotta kind of hope they do business against the Dolphins here. Raiders got the Broncos, the Eagles, the Texans, the Giants, and the Chiefs. That's kind of don't really see a win there unless it's the Giants. The Giants have who do they have? They got the Commanders, the Vikings, the Giants, or I'm sorry, the Raiders and the Cowboys. They played on Thursday night, so that was that game.
We get Giants, Raiders, and Saints, Titans in the same week?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then the Browns got the Titans this week, Bears, Bills, Steelers, and then the Bengals. And then the Titans got the Browns, 49ers, Chiefs, Saints, and Jags. So nobody here looks like they're about to go on a run. I mean, I think the best case scenario here is that the Saints got to find a way to lose to the Titans somehow.
Yeah, I mean, instead of just looking at the schedule, I also kind of look at which teams do I think are going to have fight left in them. Surprisingly, everyone still seems to be kind of trying. No one has just completely shut it down. I think if any team has shut it down, it might be the Raiders. If I had to pick one team that I wouldn't be surprised if they do not win another game, it might be the Raiders. So I think that makes them a little concerning. I feel like the Titans are going to be trying to win when the Saints come into Tennessee in Week 17. I think they want Cam Ward to have some positives. I think they want to have some momentum next year. So I think the Titans are going to be trying to win. The Giants sure seem to be trying to win. The Browns surprisingly seem to be trying to win.
Yeah, they're bringing back Deshaun. So
yeah, I kept wondering about the Jets. The Jets need a quarterback, I think, worse than anyone. They need something to sell in New York. They have an owner who cares about that kind of stuff. Their quarterback position has flopped this year. I wouldn't be surprised if we see the Jets go in the tank. I actually think the Saints could beat the Jets at home and then lose to the Titans in Tennessee. But those are the two games that absolutely stand out most as having the most effect on this. I mentioned that the head-to-head with Arizona doesn't matter. Because it's only strength of schedule, not head-to-head. And the Saints have a very positive for their case strength of schedule. and it's only going to get worse as the season goes on. The Saints are at 502 for their strength of schedule. The only team on this list with a worse strength of schedule is Cleveland. So the worse your strength of schedule, the higher you draft. They decided it was a worse season if you had the bad record against a weak strength of schedule. So I think the Saints are going to win a lot of tiebreakers too, which will be in their favor.
Yeah, the Cardinals might not win a game either.
That's true.
They got the Rams, they got the Texans, they got the Falcons, they got the Bengals, and they got the Rams.
And they just shut down Kyler for the rest of the year.
Falcons are their best shot. Pardon me, too, on the Giants one. They only have 4 games left because they're freaking on a bye this week, which is insane to be on a bye this week, this late in the season. Yeah, look, the thing about the Jets, they got all that draft currency, so I don't know if they go all the way in the tank this year. I don't think Aaron Glenn would do that either. I think he's built to he's trying to build his culture, and I don't know that they're completely have to be married to this class, this opportunity, because
that's true.
I think they're going to be able to do whatever they want to do. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this kind of plays out down the stretch. Obviously, the Giants are going to be going for it with Jackson Dart. That'd be a tough one for me. Like, watching him as a fan, you got to love the way he plays, but it's also freaking terrifying. Those hits he takes are already starting to add up a little bit, but they're going to be going for it. Yeah, I don't know, man. This is going to be interesting coming down here. Really, it comes down to a couple games, and I think that Titans game this week is huge. If they find a way to win one, like, the odds of getting there really, really drastically improve. I wonder if the Titans won one. I don't think the Saints could really do anything more to try to lose games. So, like, it feels like they're out of moves on that. Maybe just don't bring back some of your injured players or whatever. But yeah, we'll see. All right, that's going to do it for this block. We'll be right back with the question of the day.
Are you ready to buy your first home, wondering if now's the right time to refinance, or maybe you're thinking about getting into real estate? Whatever play you're trying to run, the pros at MortgageBros.money have the game plan. If you're a first-time buyer, the Mortgage Bros will break down every loan program, help you build a budget that works, and even check if you qualify for 100% financing or down payment assistance. They'll guide you every step of the way, because buying your first home shouldn't feel like a Hail Mary. Heard that rates have dropped and thinking it's time to refi? Don't just guess, get real answers. The Mortgage Bros will review your situation for free and tell you if it's time to make a move or keep waiting for an even better rate. And if you're ready to start investing in real estate, don't let that old 20% down myth stop you. The Bros can show you a home hack that might get you up to 3 doors to rent with little to no money down. Here's the best part. The Mortgage Bros work with you for free. You'll never pay them a penny. They're not bankers, they're brokers. That means if your loan doesn't close, they don't get paid. So they're just as invested in getting you approved as you are. Because let's be honest, signing up for a 30-year loan without a pro on your team is like trying to run the offense without a playbook. You don't need to know every role in the mortgage game. Your pros already do. So go to MortgageBros.money. That's MortgageBros.money. And let the bros be your pros.
'Tis the season for gumbo combos at New Orleans Hamburger and Seafood Company. Enjoy our hot gumbo, fries, and your choice of shrimp, catfish, soft-shell crab, or frog legs starting at $10.99. That's right, $10.99 at New Orleans Hamburger and Seafood Company.
I got hurt in a car wreck. Why should I get Gordon?
Because when you're hurt, you need money. And I fight for the people of Southeast Louisiana every day. I got a client who injured their neck in a car wreck, $250,000. Another client was hit by a big truck and needed back surgery. I got them $700,000, and they deserved every single penny.
That's what I'm talking about. Why wouldn't I get Gordon?
If you've been hurt in a car wreck, just call me, New Orleans. Get it done.
Call 504-800-8888.
You ever take a bite of something and immediately think, yeah, I'm coming back for this? Bobby Hebert's Cajun Cannon Restaurant just added some new dishes, and man, they crushed it. The shrimp and crawfish pistolettes, golden and stuffed with bold Cajun flavor. Fried oyster tacos, crispy, fresh with the perfect kick. And the soft shell crab Alfredo, creamy, rich, and absolutely worth the order. They're open 7 days a week, and they deliver late. Bobby Hebert's Cajun Cannon Restaurant. Delicious food, superior service. Whether you are a local New Orleanian or a fan in town for the game, get your pre- and post-game fired up at Aaron Rose. Local chaos and local love for the black and gold. Wake up and live with daily drink specials, mimosas, screwdrivers, Bloody Marys, and hot or frozen Irish coffees, all just $3 or $4 between 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Aaron Rose, half a block from Bourbon Street in the French Quarter, 811 Conti Street. Attention Saints fans, don't let pests and termites invade your home field. Trust the team at Red Pest Solutions to tackle those unwelcome visitors. Call the Red Man today for unbeatable pest and termite control. Score peace with no pest. Visit redpest.com, REDDPEST.com. Welcome back to NewOrleans.Football. It's now time for the Get Gordon question of the day, presented by Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. What do we got today as far as the question?
All right, a Saints guy got in last night during the Lions-Cowboys game with this one for both of us. What if the Saints never cut Al-Quadin Muhammad? Do they still use 3 firsts and a second on Davenport, Turner, and Foskey? If not, then what? Al-Quadin Muhammad has 9 sacks this year.
He's killing it. It's unbelievable.
He's entering the Zach Bond, Trey Hendrickson Hall of Fame. He's passed up teammate Alex Anzalone. There was a time when the Saints used to talk for about 15 years about how Rob Ninkovich was the only one they got away. Now you can fill like a 22-man roster with the guys that they have let get away. He was a late bloomer. No, he spent a few years with Indy, then he went to Chicago, then he went to Detroit, and it's amazing that he is, if you don't remember, he was the last pick in that 2017 draft class, the one we never talk about, and here he is now going on, year 8, and having a career season as far as sack numbers. Just incredible what a streak they were on that year. I don't know that he ever would have reached the point of stopping them from drafting. Davenport was 1 year later, but maybe if they'd stuck with him, they never would have gotten to Foskey, at least. They're adding up. They are adding up. The guys they had in this building, and what an indictment, not on the personnel staff, because they drafted them all. We think Dennis Allen is an excellent defensive coordinator, but even Dennis Allen is now thriving with some of the guys that he wasn't using. He brought C.J. Gardner-Johnson and DeMarco Jackson to Chicago. It's crazy how many defensive players over the last 5 years have had more success elsewhere.
Yeah, he played 9% of the snaps in 17. Then he was at 42%, 47%, 56% in 18, 19, 20. And in those seasons, it was 0 sacks, 3 sacks, 2 sacks. 21, he started to break out with 6, had 1 in 22, 3 in 24, 9 this year. Yeah, the question, it definitely doesn't stop him from drafting Davenport. Davenport was the very next season, like you said. Then Peyton Turner comes in. What year was that? That was 21. By 21, so in 20, he had 5 career sacks, and he was playing 50% at that point. I don't know that you'd be looking at him, if you're just carbon copying this and saying he's with the Saints that whole time. I don't know that you carbon copy it and say that he's the guy, because you're still searching for the Peyton Turner, Davenport. That's trying to replace Cam Jordan. That's not trying to replace your depth players at that point. So Muhammad isn't on that scale yet. I think as he starts to break out, though, maybe you don't take the shot on Foskey. That's definitely possible. If you're just hanging in here and all of a sudden, but still even then, that's looking for a high upside thing. But I think we can definitely say that letting this guy go was probably absolutely a mistake. They gave up on him way too quick. Very quickly he turned into a guy that's at least giving you some production. At the very least, you'd at least be looking at him and being like, well, it's a 30-year-old player giving you some sacks. We wouldn't be having the conversation, and no offense to anybody, about, keeping Cam, who's 36, 37 years old, as a rotational player. You would much rather be doing that with a younger guy. And Al-Quadin Muhammad isn't even young at this point. He's an older player, but I think you save money there. Yeah, definitely a miss letting him get out of the building. It's insane. It's insane he's going to finish the season with double-digit sacks.
It's unbelievable.
After 8-9 years in the league. It's wild.
The other thing with him is, of course, he was one of those 6'3", 250-pound edge rushers that never really found a place in the Saints defense under a lot of different coordinators. He's very similar. That he appeared in 4 games as a rookie with the Saints as a 6th-round pick. Very similar to Fadil Diggs's rookie season. That's what I thought of him until I went and saw him have success elsewhere. So they kind of dismissed him early here.
Why do you draft him if he doesn't? If you don't think he can fit? It's that's I don't know. I think they always overthought that big time. All right. Anyways, that's gonna do it for today's show. We'll talk to you next time.